When we think about risk at SkyBridge, we're always looking short-term, medium-term, and long-term. So in the short-term, clearly, further escalation of the trade war that we're certainly in with China. Some would call it a skirmish, but it's moving towards a war. That's risk one. Risk two is the Fed tightening policy too rapidly, although there are signs that they're starting to back away from some of their more aggressive tightening positioning for next year. That's over the short and medium term. We think that leads to continued volatility in markets. It can lead to downside in our portfolios, but we think it'll be relatively modest compared to equity markets, as we saw in October, for instance. However, the bigger risk long term, which could potentially drive a recession in late 2020, is a dramatic policy change in Washington. You know, many investors and market participants are forgetting that one of the reasons this cycle has extended and become even more powerful in terms of growth is we've experienced substantial pro-growth policy reforms out of Washington, particularly in terms of deregulation and additionally through tax reform and tax cuts. And those policies can be reversed, right? Not a political statement, but if those policies are reversed, one would have to assume that business fixed investment and CapEx would roll over, inventory could be liquidated, and at that point, unemployment is inevitably going to go up, which could lead to a very mild recession similar to what we had in 2001. So in terms of what's big enough to derail the economy, the only thing that we can point to with some degree of certainty is a dramatic change from pro-growth policies to, let's politely call them, less than pro-growth policies.
All investments are subject to risk, including the possible loss of the money you invest. For more information about SkyBridge Multi-Advisor Hedge Fund Portfolios Series G and the SkyBridge G2 Fund, call 1-888-759-2730 to obtain a prospectus. Investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and other important information about a fund are contained in the prospectus. Read and consider it carefully before investing. This webcast is for educational purposes only. We recommend that you consult a professional advisor about your individual situation.